Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Monday, July 29th, 2019. So let's talk about Boeing, folks. Down another $5 and change today, down 1.5%. This stock, folks, is going much lower, and I'm going to set the table for why it's going lower. And when I say lower, I'm not talking about 325 down here or 300. I'm talking down to like $215. So we're talking another, I would say, $125 drop on Boeing. You might be saying this is nuts. I mean, that can't happen. It can't happen. Well, trust me, the charts don't lie. It will happen. Now, let's talk about the scenario where it goes. Well, first off, before we get into that, let's look at the charts. So take a look at this. You have this trend line connecting from this gap up, connected through these lows, and look at what you have. This is a major trend line, folks, that is bumping up against, okay? If it breaks this line, the first leg of that move down to the target goes. And I'm going to show you where the target is right here. It's gap fill. So gaps, I always have said this, gaps are made to be filled. This is no different. This will fill this gap. And again, it's down to about $215 right there. The way it's going to play out is this. Boeing already has lost the support of a lot of the major buyers around the world of airplanes because of this fiasco with the 737 MAX. Now, the key is this, is that right now the economy is decently strong here in the U.S., in various countries. Obviously, in China, it's weaker. But what is going to happen when the U.S. sees weaker growth, which is inevitably coming? Listen, you cannot avoid a recession. Eventually, it will happen. And that's the killer point on this stock. So right now the stock is down from these highs, trading into this because they're having more problems. If you see any sort of a domestic slowdown in the U.S., people are going to assume it's going to spread globally, which it already is in China and some other places, but you're talking about slowing in India, slowing even more so in Europe, and all these other countries that have been big buyers from Boeing, then this stock is in trouble. Again, the big question is going to be, when does it break this trend line? Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Is it next month? When it breaks, you're going to have a couple stops along the way. Number one is going to be just below 300 here. All right. Number two, there's a lot of support right here around $262, $63. Okay. And ultimately, if it breaks through 1, 2, it's going right here to the third point. So how do you play this? Well, if you want to play it with kind of minimal risk, what I would do is I'd buy puts. I'd probably buy like 250 puts, but I'd buy them a year out. I'd buy them probably for expiration next July 2020 or August or maybe even further out. Give yourself time. Now, you're going to pay a lot of money. You'll probably pay, $30 to $50 on this minimally, maybe even more. But trust me, when these things start to fall, they are going to pay off huge. Another way you could do it, if you wanted to, you could short the stock. But obviously, some of you guys may not want to do that. But again, if you have enough money, you could short 1,000 shares, and think about the amount of money you'll make on 1,000 shares short if this thing goes all the way to 215. All right, having said that, I have another stock I want to highlight to you. It's one we picked up today in the research center. We picked it up at $9.12. This is already making a move, $9.30. Look at this consolidation. So I love this bottom. Pivot low, rallied, pulled back. All right, little bottoming tail right there, double bottom, rallied higher. So you made a high, a higher high. Here's a slightly lower high, but look at the consolidation here, right into this same base level. So in terms of risk reward, I really like this chart setup. Good consolidation. Chart seems to be getting these pops, 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 and then pullbacks. So what's not to think it's going to happen again? I still think you need to see a target price achieved of $12 and change right here. This gap is made to be filled, folks. And again, you're going to see that probably in the next couple weeks. My guess is it makes a big move up, maybe on earnings. We'll have to see what happens. But again, upside to about $12 or just above is likely. I like it. This is a small cap, so you wouldn't put a lot of capital at risk. But I do like this quite a bit. I did pick up some in the research center with members today. All right, guys, have a great one as always. Come join us at InTheMoneyStocks.com. We will